They want to work. They want to do better. They've asked me a ton of questions, asked the guys in their room a ton of questions. Obviously, the rookies have those rookie meetings and stay a little longer, and everyone's been telling me how.
You got to like that. And he really did turn it on the back half of the year. They added Turk Wharton, a high end defensive lineman, maybe the best defensive line free agent in the offseason from the
Yep.
Chiefs,
Yep.
to address a side of the ball that was a real disaster last year, as they allowed almost 500 points. But if you just take a look at the last quarter of the season, they really started pulling it together. And it's another weak division. The Saints may well be the worst team in the league this year.
Yeah.
Then you have the Atlanta Falcons, 8-9 last year, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 10-7. So this is a division where it doesn't take a dramatic improvement to be right in the mix. I mean, if they win 4 more games, they're right there.
Yeah, no, exactly. And the NFC South is always like that. I mean, literally, it's always like that. There was a stretch there, I remember, like in the early 2000s, where literally the last place team was the first place team for 5 straight years the next year. That's insane. Yeah. Whoever finished last the year before ended up being the first place team the next year for 5 straight years. Just ridiculous. And the whole thing was jam packed right at the end. It was all around 500 basically, and you know what I mean. They only had one team that would make it into the playoffs, and it really hasn't changed. It really hasn't changed much. They're all around 500 every year. Maybe the teams that lead the division are probably 1 or 2 games above 500, and and so that means that it's ripe for the taking. And this Panthers team, I like Canales. I think he's done really, really well with Young. Young really looked better, especially at the last 5 games of last year. He had over a 100 passer rating for the first time in his career.
Yeah, he very much turned it on.
I mean, he really, really started to look like an NFL quarterback there. Now, that said, he's in very dangerous territory. Like, this is make it or break it time. If he has any form of regression, it's probably the end of the line for him, and probably, holding a clipboard for the next decade. But, a tablet for the next decade now. But,
yeah,
they don't do clipboards anymore. But you see what I'm saying, though. Like, this is the year. Now, I expect him to have that year, though. I really do. I like where they're at. I think the defense is going to be better this year. I do. No, but you put another edge rusher next to Burns. Burns is a really, talented edge rusher on the other side there. I think the more you get after the passer, the better everything starts to look. It's really that simple. If you can get after the passer a little bit and they address that concern, everybody starts to play better. There's a little less stress on the secondary.